What is up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself from games I've never played or heard about. This is one of them. This is Project Wingman. I've done a handful of these, and it's mostly requested by one person, and that is Daniel. This song is called Operation Blackout. We are about halfway through their request list. They sent about 20 requests. So, and don't worry, the ones that you guys really want to see are towards the end. This is a game that I know very little about. It's a dogfighting game, so I imagine lots of stuff in the sky. And I know there's two opposing forces, and I think I know one of the characters' names, and that's about it. I am just a fan of the music, and I'm just gonna break it down. So we'll see. A lot of light motifs in this game, I've noticed. A lot of reoccurring sounds, but they all have their own flavor, so that's what's cool. This is composed by Jose Pavli. Let's go. I love the percussion in these games. Ooh. What is that? Is that a djembe? It's some hand percussion. Ooh, tense. Maybe actual fighting is going on here? Man, those drums are hitting hard. I'm getting a lot of ascension, climbing up. High altitude. The hand percussion is still there in the background, but now it's joined by a... There it is again. It's constantly moving. Oh. Big horns. A lot of pedal tone going on here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there was definitely a lot of use of the pedal tone, which is kind of a repeated note. In this case, it was the repeated note and also the next adjacent note. So it kind of has like this tension. Whenever a note followed by the next sharpest note has kind of like the interval of that music is very tense. I think I could be totally wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that equivalent interval or space between two notes is like the Jaws theme, right? Da dun da dun da dun. Like it's just right next to each other. I kept hearing that a lot here. I could be wrong, but pretty sure it has that, which has this feeling of, you know, tension and, you know, battle or something. And I know there's a lot of fighting going on in this, but this one felt a little different for a couple of reasons. For one, this one felt like one of the most tense, which makes me think, if I'm guessing correctly, this might be towards the later half of the game, maybe 3/4 of the way, because I'm not entirely sure, but I think the requester sent them in maybe almost chronological order. I think. I'm not too sure, but at least it sounds that way regardless, and I was getting that a lot. But also, this sounded like I actually got a bit of a setting here. Usually I don't when it comes to these types of games. It's because all I can think about is the sky, and then maybe underneath. But in this one, I kind of felt like it had more of an exotic location. Maybe a lot of greenery, trees, maybe a jungle, something like that. It definitely had that sort of feel to it. And that's only because of the hand percussion and how relevant it was here. It was everywhere. It was the first thing you hear. It was bathed across the whole track, and then it was at the end fading out, and then it got accompanied by the bigger drum. I don't know what that was. It was either, oh man, there's so many. It could have been bongos, or it could have been a djembe. It definitely wasn't a cajon. Yeah, I don't know, but it was definitely a hand percussion, and that's what gave it that fast kind of rhythmic feel, as well as the tension. A similar word that came to mind was ascension, or climbing. It felt as if maybe, well, I guess in this case it would be taking off, but I felt more like getting higher once you're already up. It just felt like I was kept going up. The music kept rising in tension. It kept going up and up and up, and then you had your little resolves of just kind of calm for a bit, but it overall felt like we're just ascending upwards. So along with the whole tension and the intervals and the percussion and the feeling of climbing, it just feels really like making knots in your stomach. It's something's afoot. It's also called Operation Blackout, so good chance this is already in the midst of a mission. Something is definitely happening here. But it's, you know, for a game that I literally know nothing about, it does give me a lot of, you know, scenery and different scenarios based on just the sound. So you'd think after hearing quite a bit of these now, maybe like over 10 or so, you'd think I'd probably start running out of things to say. But I mean, even though they're similar and they share their own kind of flavor throughout the songs, they each kind of have their own identity, which is kind of bizarre for sounding so similar, because I can still find things to extract out of it, and that's pretty impressive, because each one of these are very, like, you know, each one of these videos I check out from the official composer's channel, they're all like 3 minutes, and they kind of all share like this sort of ambient feel of like strings, drums, and electronic sounds, and then these just different sounds here and there, but they each have their own elements. And in this case, it was the tension and the hand percussion that stuck out the most. That's kind of bizarre, you know, to still change it up. I'm not bored yet. No idea what's going on though, of course. That's where you guys come in, or the composer sometimes will tell me what it is. That's always exciting. But yeah, it's quite the journey to go through this game. I've never, the closest thing I've come to this would be Final Fantasy XIV, which I've done so many of. But this one is different. It's like its own entity on this channel. I've done a bunch, never seen footage. I've only seen this image, and it's from a game that I would think would not have much scenery to offer me. So I thought. You know, I've never played a dogfighting game, but I would imagine it's just pretty monotonous. You fly, you blow stuff up, but maybe not. Maybe it's much more than that. Maybe there's stuff that happens on the ground, and who knows. But this game has a cult following. The composer is well respected. and I'm still over here finding new things, and we still have much more. We still have the biggest ones that people request, starts with a K, and the other ones too. So it's really nice seeing the progression of these songs. I've noticed one thing though, they started kind of lighter, and now they're getting a little more intense. I have noticed that. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Probably. So who knows where it goes from here, because right now it's kind of dark. You know, there's not a lot of hopefulness I get from this. It seems pretty dark, like stuff is hitting the fan. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it'll come back down or something. It's exciting. So I feel like I'm playing the game without even playing it. I'm experiencing it a very unique way that probably a handful of people in the entire world are experiencing it, which is just the soundtrack. I guess that makes me unique. Anywho, thank you for that, Daniel, and thanks to Jose Pavli for making this. This is Project Wingman, and the song is called Operation Blackout. If you want to make a request to me, you could do so on Patreon or PayPal. Either are totally fine. In this case, it was PayPal. Either are totally fine, and I guarantee I will check out your song if you do not mind waiting. If you do not want to wait, there is the Platinum tier on Patreon, which expedites your request to the very top. Only 10 slots are available, and they may all be full right now. I'm not sure. You can check on your own. A big shout out to Aiden, Justin, Kevin, Moon Knight, Rogue Monk, Solid Bullet 066, Your Average Metalhead, Lord Daddy, Sakai Nuaride, DJ Singletone, and Hieno for being supporters. Thank you to everyone that you see over here as Patreon supporters as well. Thanks to the PayPal donators. Thanks to you for watching. Whether you are a Project Wingman fan or you're watching these with me to learn about more VGM, I thank you. My name is Jesse. Until next time, dudes and dudettes, have a good one. Take it easy.